Brandy Strand. I have the fortunate job of serving as the board chair for the Friends of Fisher Mansion organization, as well as being the executive director of Preservation Utah. I'm here to report out on the incredible support that you provided to the Friends of Fisher Mansion organization as we put together and launched an updated report on the Fisher Mansion. So to get us right into it, and bringing us back to what it was all about. The Fisher Mansion was built in 1893, and it was designed by Richard Cletting. It is also listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It's actually placed there in 1975, and then later Salt Lake City designated it as a landmark site. Currently, this incredible building has been vacant since 2007. However, Salt Lake City did purchase it in 2008. It's in okay condition. Once you get inside, you see the bones. There's been some deferred maintenance. There was some earthquake damage. And of course, the windows right now are closed up to prevent any vandalism on the property. This is to kind of give you an idea of some of the historical context with this building, especially as we look at our beer history here in Salt Lake City. It's located, and this kind of gives you an idea of where it's located. It's right on 200 South, and it's right next to the Jordan River. In fact, there is a boat ramp access there, and it's currently isolated though, because as you look at this, there are a lot of developments that are going to be happening around it. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for individuals to engage with the river, as well as with this incredible building. There's going to be new housing around it, entertainment. There's a cultural district, as well as just urban neighborhoods that are being planned and developed nearby. This is a growing area right now. Prior to what's going on right now with the building, there was quite a bit of Jordan River Trail completion as well as access. And then there, right behind the Fisher Mansion, is the carriage house that is completely restored and has made it more accessible with the boat ramp. Currently, the mansion is undergoing some significant stabilization work, and it's actually got $3 million right now of seismic and structural stabilization that's going on. We also have been notified that $400,000 of additional funding from Mayor Mendenhall's 26 budget has been placed for approval. And we have a pending application for just under $600,000 for the Salt Lake City Capital Improvement Program. This work is really what's going to get us to the next stage for its next step in life. This is the carriage house. It's just such a beautiful building. If you ever have a chance to go in there, definitely go in. On the lower level is a historical map that's just really cool to see. So what we've done with this report, and what we actually have copies here for everyone, and anybody who would like an electronic copy can ask Soren. He has an electronic copy of the report as well. And my fellow board member here, Thomas. There's an executive report as well as a full report that's binding, so you have one of each. Thank you so much, Tom. As you're looking at this is really the culmination of bringing together all of the past reporting, research around Fisher Mansion. It's been on preservation's radar for quite some time. So we were able to pull together all of that previous work. We also did something and reached out to the community. People who live and breathe right next to this building, who want to recreate on the river, who want to have access, and who do not want to see this incredible piece of property go underutilized continuously. And through that, you'll see in the report as it comes around, or for those who will get an electronic copy, you can see that we've really integrated what the community wants to have happen in the building. And the river and recreation is definitely up there. Access is important. And that's what we heard from our West Side neighbors. There is still use happening on the site. So while we're looking at the next stage of the future of the site, we're also continuing programming, because we know that keeping a building alive and having a space continue to serve the community, it requires that people are on the site on a regular basis. So you'll see that there are Fisher beer gardens that happen. I believe the next one that's coming up is in September. The Get to the River Festival. the Jordan River access with that boat ramp right there. It's really a community gathering space as well. You can host meetings in the carriage house. There's grounds around the building as well. And it's become just a trailside location, right, where people can come together and collaborate around the river. From the study and from what we heard from the community, there is, the building uses that the community would like to see is something with like an art space, an art gallery, maybe a restaurant or a cafe, a reception and event center, offices, museum, interpretive exhibits. It's really open. But one thing I will say is that access to the river was always a priority for the community. To be able to recreate safely and to be able to access it safely. Which brings us to security concerns. We all know there's illegal activity that happens in spaces throughout our towns and cities. And what we're looking to be able to do is additional security measures in connection with both, if you think about it, like the short-term goals of keeping the building secure, keeping it open and accessible to the community, while also looking at what are those long-term goals, right? So, increased activity use will be a deterrent in some cases for some of those security risks by having people on space. And the city is going to retain ownership, and they're looking at different options of how to utilize the building. I will say this though, Preservation Utah holds a preservation easement on the building. So we will be preserving and protecting that building and the grounds, I think, for 50 years. With that easement, there's a requirement that the city maintains public access. So no matter what use that building serves or who steps in to redevelop and restore the building, the public will always have access. And I'm very happy to know that that's something that's a legal protection around that space. So the next steps that Friends of Fisher Mansion and the city and partners everywhere are looking at is expanding that site programming, keeping people in the space and around there. And I know that right now we have a couple of very committed community members who are looking at an advanced restoration plan because of what we were able to do with your support to create the report. We're actually able now to see a baseline and start to build an incremental plan that can support whatever restoration efforts are happening within the building as we await decisions and RFPs from the city. The community is really incredibly invested in this building, in the land around the building, and they want to see it become something next for the community. And we are a major advocate and partner with those with those neighbors to create an activity hub that can serve multiple needs within our West Side community. And with that, I'm gonna leave you just with this fun little image of imagine being able to roll up, find easily accessible parking near Fisher Mansion and see people biking and riding and a beautifully restored mansion with the carriage house behind. And I just get really excited because it's not just about what can happen on the site, it's also what's happening in the neighborhood as a whole and the development that's happening. Life is coming in, housing is coming in, and with that comes the opportunity to connect people with this incredible resource of the Fisher Mansion, as well as accessing the Jordan River. I now open it up for questions.
May I have questions? Anyone in the room?
I have one. The conservation.
Let's get over there.
Oh,
So
sorry.
that everybody can.
Yeah, we heard online.
That conservation easement for public access to the Fisher Mansion, does that apply to the carriage house as well?
The preservation easement is not on, we did not place it on the carriage house, it was only on the mansion itself. I do know that the city has been looking at ways to make the carriage house more accessible because the initial plan was to have the where you could like rent boats and things like that to access the river. And I do know that they're working on those logistics, it's just not as straightforward as we all think it would be. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other questions here in the room? Okay, let's go to our online. Yes. We have questions online.
No questions from me. Just to say that several years ago, Great Salt Lake Rowing did get permission to use Fisher Mansion to launch our boats from. Thought it was a great place, but it was more of a fun row than a training outing. Basically, just because of the water was like had trees blocking it every now and then, so it was like wiggle your way up the river rather than row it up. But it was great fun, and the Fisher Mansion looks a great place.
Wonderful. I'm very excited to see it come back alive and to seeing all of this investment that's going into the building right now. Just knows that it's gonna stick around for a while and continue to be that community space.
It's great. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Randy.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much again for your support.